AI is everywhere right now. And if you're a woman over 40 trying to lose weight, there's a good chance you've either used it or seriously thought about using it for help. And I want to say this clearly right up front. I'm not anti-AI. I'm also not here to help hype it up. I'm here to talk about where AI actually fits into midlife weight loss and where it doesn't, so you can use it wisely instead of letting it confuse or quietly derail you. Because pretending women aren't using AI already doesn't protect anyone. As a health coach, I work with smart, capable women. They're successful in other areas of life. They think critically, and they're often frustrated that weight loss after 40 feels harder than it should. So when something like AI shows up, something fast, organized, and confident, it's very tempting to let it take the lead. And honestly, that makes sense. AI is very good at organizing information. It can generate meal ideas. It can summarize nutrition concepts. It can explain fitness or health topics in a clear, confident way. Those things can be helpful if you understand what AI is doing and what it isn't. And this is where most people get tripped up. AI gives information. It does not give judgment. And fat loss after 40 has never been about information alone. This stage of life is shaped by sleep, stress, medical history, past dieting, and personal circumstances that change over time. AI doesn't see those things unless it's guided very intentionally. And even then, it doesn't interpret them in the way that experienced human does. AI doesn't see those things unless it's guided very intentionally, and even then, it doesn't interpret them the way that an experienced human does. I've seen this play out in real life. I worked with a client who mentioned throughout our time together that she was also using ChatGPT for support. At some point, she decided to stop coaching and rely more heavily on AI instead. I completely respect the desire for independence. That wasn't the issue. When we connected again several months later, she was frustrated that nothing had changed. One specific example stood out. She was following nutrition guidance from AI related to fat loss and cholesterol, but AI hadn't been given the full medical context. As a result, it confidently suggested strategies that sounded reasonable but weren't appropriate for her situation. When we looked closer at the issue, it wasn't the technology. It was that AI was not guided properly. It didn't know what mattered most to her health, and it couldn't prioritize the levers that actually move fat loss. This is something I see often. Women place a lot of energy on factors that don't move fat loss very much, while underestimating the importance of consistent nutrition. AI can unintentionally reinforce that if it isn't directed well. And when stress, life changes, or shifting priorities enter the picture, that gap widens even more. This is how women end up following advice that technically makes sense, but doesn't work in real life, or advice that feels validating, but doesn't move them forward. And then the conclusion becomes, my body is broken, when that's not the issue at all. This conversation isn't about avoiding AI. It's about understanding its limits and using it as a support tool, not a decision maker. AI weight loss tools can be powerful, but only when human judgment stays in the lead. This is why I'm choosing to talk about AI properly instead of ignoring it. Women are already using it. The question is whether they're using it wisely. And that's where experienced coaching still matters. I've spent a lot of time thinking about how AI fits into sustainable fat loss for women without extremes, without shortcuts, and without losing common sense. And that's what I'll be sharing more about. This isn't a trend, it's a shift. And like anything powerful, it works best when guided well. I'll be breaking this down further in upcoming videos, what AI can help with, where it falls short, and how to use it responsibly. Thanks for being here.